starts Boxing Day on TSN.
Another season of the Canadian Bowling Championships begins with our defending champion, Sandi Anderson from Winnipeg, against another Winnipeg bowler in Donna Watson. It's the women's 5-pin preliminary, playing for the $25,000 in total prize money. Sandi Anderson a year ago, of course, winning the $10,000. The loser here in the preliminaries will take home $250.
Just a little miss right for Sandi. It's not going to be about nerves. She's been here before, as we talked about 14 times on TV. Focus. Make good shots. Take a lift on that one. Catches the head pin on the right-hand side.
And that's the key, of course, as you often say, you get all the wood. Make sure you get the spare. Now this is Donna Watson. She's making her third appearance on TSN, and she's wide left.
Donna, no stranger to competition. Been in numerous Canadian 5 and Masters National Championships. Not seeing a lot of movement on the bowling ball right now. It's obviously very first match. There's lots of oil on the lane. TV lights haven't dried it out. We'll probably see the ball go a little bit straighter right now.
There's our first head pin. That ugly clunk.
And that's the danger a little bit early on in a match, in a series like this. Again, lots of oil, ball goes straighter. They're used to playing and having the ball move a little bit on the lane. You can see she was expecting that to break a little bit. Doesn't. She's got to clean it up. Difference in a one-game match can be the pins you leave on the pin deck.
So Sandi Anderson working on a spare as she opened up wide right with her first, and wondering if maybe she'll overcompensate now, trying to bring the ball back a little bit.
No, I don't think Sandi will do anything too different. She's got a great player with a lot of history. That one a little bit thick on the head pin, but she gets the carry because of the rotation.
It's the defending champion, Sandi Anderson, against another Winnipeg bowler in Donna Watson in this opening game. Brand new season of the Canadian Bowling Championships, and Sanderson opening with a spare strike, and as she did in the first on this lane, is wide right.
Yeah, exactly. 2 misses right, both on the left-hand lane here at Silver Dollar. On the middle, that time on the inside of the head pin, covers it up.
You were suggesting because the lanes are fresh, ball may be running a little straighter. Does she have to make an adjustment now to get it over the left side?
She may do something a little differently, at maybe one board movement, just to make sure the ball stays in the pocket. When you're not getting a lot of break, the line you're going to play is a little bit more direct to the pocket.
Now there's Donna Watson, maybe didn't getting the kind of break she would have expected. Maybe hit that head pin a little full. She's coming off the open frame, and boy, she's going to have it back to back.
Well, the good news is she's hit the head pin 2 in a row. Tough one in the second with a head pin, and now here missing that left corner spare. You can't afford to do that in a single game match like this. You really don't have an awful lot of opportunity to come back.
So for a 45 count through 3 for Donna Watson, making her third appearance here on TSN. Back in 1999, she was in the pins game. Compare that to Sandi Anderson, of course, as we mentioned. Oh my, this goes from bad to worse for her.
really thin that time. Again, no movement back to the pocket. She just caught a piece of the head pin.
Okay, so that's a key, I would think, isn't it? You need a little bit of movement to get the action on the pins.
Well, yeah, you've either got to get movement on the bowling ball or you got to pick an angle. It can't be straight up and down in the middle of the lane. Otherwise, you're going to, a lot of times you'll punch, you'll leave stuff like this, aces.
It's just a tough 3 frames there for Donna Watson. But, you know, we mentioned off the top when we said hello, Donna Watson has got to make some adjustments here because this will be over in a blink of an eye.
Absolutely, she does. Good news is she's hit the head pin 3 times in a row, so the adjustment is very minor for her to go from head pins and corner pins to getting strikes.
Interestingly enough, for Sandi Anderson, this is in her 4th frame, and she's only hit the head pin once.
Missed it now 2 times in a row. Maybe forcing the ball a little bit when you're not getting the movement that you expect. Then maybe you force it a little. That time, punch the head pin straight back.
And what this does, of course, for Donna Watson, this open frame, after 3 marks by Anderson, immediately says, you know what, I'm not out of this.
It's an opening. A small one. Donna's going to have to come back strong, take advantage of it. She really needs a double to get back in the match.
So a 13 count for Sandi Anderson in the 4th brings her to 91 through 4. Donna Watson 58 through 4. You know, we don't talk enough about Anderson. I mean, she's 14th appearance, but it's the fact that she's committed to the game all these years and come out of a very difficult, not only city, but province when it comes to bowling in Manitoba.
Absolutely. The ladies out of Manitoba have been an absolute strength in Canadian 5 and Masters championships over the years. They've developed great female bowlers out of there. Of course, Dylas Turner from Manitoba has been coaching that ladies team for years, and they've just produced some great bowlers.
Donna Watson now needs to get something going, and she does. So she responds to the strike thrown by Anderson in 5 with her own, and that's her first strike.
Nice smooth approach and delivery. A little bit more movement on the ball that time, so you can slow it down and get more movement, change the angle a little bit. Look out.
Interesting, you're right. That one actually came back into the head pin.
You could see it move on the lane surface. Second head pin in the match, and the second on that left-hand lane for Donna.
Why she checked her foot just to make sure she didn't go over, or it could have also been maybe a little sticky on the delivery. Yeah, just not quite balanced, huh?
Maybe set her heel down a little bit early on that one.
That's too bad for Donna Watson. Open. She has the strike in 5 and then comes back with another open and a 13.
She hit the head pin 4 times in a row, but 2 head pins and a set of aces in that string. Now she's in a big hole here. Sandi Anderson, again, experienced. She'll try and take advantage of the open frames and jump all over this.
You betcha. And this is, I mean, doesn't matter what sport it is. This is where the really good ones jump in and just try to knock out the other person.
Absolutely. Don't give them any kind of an opening. It's kind of when they're down, kick them again. Sandi taking a little bit more time on this second ball. Trying to figure out what went wrong on that first one. Missed it to the right.
So another mark for Sandi Anderson. She's had just the one open frame that came in the 4th, and she's 121 through 5 with a spare up in 6. And you can see just how dominating she is so far.
Big lift on that one. Got it well out on the lane. Left-hand pocket that time. So she may have made a little bit of an adjustment. She throws a back up, so you really want the ball to move from left to right on the lane, and you preferably in the left-hand pocket for most of these players. Great shot that time.
And then Donna Watson working very quickly. Comes back, misses the head pin, and just punches the 3.
Just not quite in sync. She's made a couple of adjustments, but just
no.
She's punched. She's had a set of aces and a couple of misses on the head pin.
The other thing is too, hey, look at this isn't tournament play. This isn't an opportunity to regroup, and you have to be, I think, maybe more mentally tough in this game, in this championship, than you do in tournament play.
Absolutely true, Vic. There's just no opportunity to make a mistake here. There's no second chance.
So if she looked, and it's tough not to peek at the scoreboard and see how badly or how far behind you are. Now, good for her, for Donna Watson to come back with a strike.
Second strike of the match. She's got to go all the way out to give herself any kind of an opportunity in this match. Right-hand pocket, bowling ball took out the right-hand corner pin that time. Now forced it. First time Sandi's missed the head pin on that left-hand side. All of her misses previously have been right side, including a 3-pin she punched in the 4th. Right on the nose.
Well, as familiar face as Sandi is, husband Jim is always here, and we welcome him to Calgary as well.
Sandi with a possible 279 remaining. She takes a peek at the scoreboard and knows that Donna's only got 239 left if she can strike out in the 9th and 10th frame. So that's the key. Sandi's got to get to 240 to win this match.
And as you looked at the scorecard, the difference in where the open frames came, the fact that she was able to put 2 or 3 marks together to build a little bit of a lead.
And that's exactly right. That's the difference. 3 in a row in 5, 6, and 7 for marks for Sandi, and 3 in a row to start the game with a spare strike spare. So that's been the big difference. Only 1 open frame. On the inside now. Sandi knows she's got to get to 240. All she's got to do is avoid head pins and splits, and she can get there very easily. Donna's going to get up here and bowl the 9th and 10th frames. Now, she had to have that strike to have any kind of a chance. She's got a possible 209 if she makes this spare and has 3 in a row in the 10th.
Well, right now, Sandi Anderson is sitting at 189 through 8, but she's coming off an open.
Better ball. You could see the movement that time, right into the pocket. Covers up the spare.
No. Just didn't get the breaks. I mean, you look at it, you've got to look back and go, gee whiz, why didn't that one that 2-pin scoot over a little bit more, that 3-pin rather, and get the 2? But
well, it's all about making adjustments. We saw Donna get started with, a miss and then a head pin and a corner pin. She never really found the right range to get her strikes. Only 2 in the match so far.
so it'll be a 182 final for Donna Watson, and she'll take home the $250. And Sandi Anderson will play it out here in the 10th with a 264 possible.
And she's wanting, at this point, game's locked up. She's really got to find the middle to get to the next game. She wants to make sure she's throwing the ball well, got it out on the lane, and good movement.
But I mean, there's a good example we were just saying. You know, Sandi skates that one, literally skates it across the 3 to get it. And then, you know, Donna's going, well, what the heck didn't that happen for me?
It's all about location and how much lift you get on the ball, how much turn is on it. Another great shot. Opposite pocket that time, but still carries the strike.
Sandi Anderson will meet either Sarah Umakashi of Thunder Bay. She's making her first appearance. Or Janet Peters of Saskatoon. That will be our next preliminary. What a great finish. The defending champion bowls a 264. Sandi Anderson of Winnipeg takes the first step with a bit of a sigh and a deep breath. Possible second championship. She's on the way.